Hey y'all, I'm back with Mob Daughter by Karen Gravano. We on chapter 8. You cannot be crawling off my roof at night. I love sneaking out of our house at night. When Dad remodeled the house on Lambert's Lane, he gave Gerard and me the bedrooms at the top of the stairs. When you walked in, the staircase was right there. At the top of the stairs, if you went to the left, it was Gerard's room, and to the right was my room. I had my own bathroom and my own sitting area, so a lot of my friends wanted to be at my house. We were out of the way upstairs, and Dad made it like that to keep us close. He kept his bedroom downstairs. The fact that his bedroom was at the bottom of the stairs didn't help. We'd go in my bathroom, undo the window, and crawl out. Then we'd walk along the roof of the first floor, which took us over the kitchen. Sometimes Dad, Mom, or both of them would be in there, and we'd have to walk really quietly. That roof went a long ways, but eventually we'd be at the end. The jump-off point was near our glassed-in den, with big glass doors that looked out onto the backyard and the pool. Most of the time, all that glass didn't matter, because at night, my parents wouldn't be in there. They'd be in their bedroom with the TV on. Plus, Dad had so carefully insulated every ceiling and rafter that it made the best escape route ever. If my parents were awake, we'd jump down on the fence and then into the neighbor's yard. If they were already asleep, we'd jump into our yard and sneak out the side door to the sidewalk. We'd go over to the PS60 schoolyard, where a bunch of gangster thugs in the making would be hanging out. There was always something going on there. Kids would be stealing cars, having fights. That was the place where all the Springville boys from Staten Island hung out. The Springville boys had the reputation of being the gangster wannabes of the Staten Island teenage population, and they honored their reputation admirably. They were kind of like the Rompers. Oh, the Rampers, Dad's first gang in Brooklyn. They were kind of like the Rampers, Dad's first gang in Brooklyn. But there were more of them. They were from the Bull's Head and Springville neighborhoods on Staten Island. They were trying to make their bones in the streets with the hopes of someday catching the eye of a made guy from some crime family. They really did not want to be part of that life. They wanted to be on their own, but they would quickly learn that if they wanted to be running the streets, they would have to follow the code. The difference between my father and them was that most of them really didn't understand what the mafia stood for. They looked at it more for the money and notoriety than the honor, loyalty, and brotherhood that the old-timers practiced. A lot of them ended up going to jail for petty crimes. There was one guy at the schoolyard named Tommy who I thought was cute. The first time I actually talked to him was during my father's annual 4th of July party at our house. Dad always threw the biggest party in Bull's Head for the celebration, with garbage pails full of Dom Perignon, alcohol, beer, lobster tails, crab legs, anything you could want. Hundreds of people from all over the neighborhood came to the event. People would bring their lawn chairs and set them out in the yard. We just let people come in, anyone who wanted. It was a replica of the huge 4th of July event that John Gotti always had in Queens. By mid-afternoon, all the adults were drunk and wasted. Roxanne, Ramona, and I had left the party for a little walk when I saw Tommy in his car waiting for some friends. I had seen him around the neighborhood, and I liked him. When he told me he was going to a block party, I said, "That's my family's party." He walked back to the house with us, and as we were walking into the backyard, I saw my cousin Bud running with my father's friend, Sarah, who was carrying a bloodied and beat-up teenager. Bud was yelling, "Get the fuck out of here and don't come back." I was horrified when Bud next walked over to Tommy and asked if he knew the kid. Tommy said he had never seen him before. I was so embarrassed. I went to find my mother. "Mom, what's going on?" I asked her. She was as drunk as everybody else. I had never seen her with a drink before, let alone drunk. "Don't worry, Karen, just chill out," she advised me. So I went to find my dad. "Dad, what happened?" I asked. "Apparently some kid mouthed off and got a beating," he told me. It turned out he was some kid from the schoolyard. He had gotten drunk at the party and grabbed someone's ass. Someone else at the party saw it and said, "Buddy, we don't do that here." The kid mouthed off back and wound up getting roughed up for being disrespectful. Tommy was still following me around, so I introduced him to my father. "Dad, this is Tommy," I said. Dad must have thought I was dating him, the way he sized him up. "Tommy, I'm going to tell you right now," my father said. "If you start a problem, you're going to leave the same way." Dad probably said it to test Tommy and see what kind of kid he was. I started dating Tommy that summer. We'd go to the PS60 schoolyard to hang out. Roxanne and Ramona Rizzo and I were the regulars. Jennifer Graziano was joining us too. She was a girl I had just started hanging out with. She was the daughter of Anthony, the little guy Graziano.